Hey everybody, Peter here. Welcome to my new third line day video today. It's been a while. Um, I ebb and flow with my inner rhythms with where I choose to put my energy, and so I felt inspired today, for a little video chat with you. And what I've been feeling that I wanted to talk about is this. I guess I'm still reverberating from a few weeks ago. We had the 36 gate transit crisis. And just I think a lot of us were feeling the crisis vibe that was going on the planet, and and I was reflecting on that for myself as a 3-5. Almost through my second cycle of 7 year cycle, and just my point is that I think as 3-5s, we come to a point where we hit a crisis point. And, I'm going to tie this into everyone here in a minute, but I think we hit a crisis point at one point in our experiment because, 3-5s are here to universalize. We're here to deliver practical wisdom about what doesn't work from our own trial and error experimentation and experience. And yet we're used to being hereticized. The heretic it's a projection. That is a projection. It's the other side of the projection of the Savior. Once we disappoint and don't meet those expectations, we become the heretic. And Ra likes to tell that story when he goes to Ibiza, when he went to Ibiza, that a lot of the people there were 3-5s. They'd all run away as he did, or whatever the story is. They ran away, and man, 3-5s can really relate to that experience of just wanting to run away from everything, and just tired of that projection. Any fifth line, anyone who deals with a projection field can know what that feels like, to want to run away, to not deal with that projection, right? But then eventually we have to live up to our incarnation cross, since the cross we bear. So that's the crisis point: is, are you going to deliver your practical wisdom? Are you going to speak up? Are you going to universalize? And of course, that's the uncomfortable nature of that question is going to tie into all the elements of your design, as whatever your type is, of course, mainly. But yeah, I'm feeling it right now. There's when you're in the position of a guide and a teacher and savior and all these things, and then you start seeing things that don't work, and it's hard being misunderstood. It's hard being projected upon and rejected, and many of us know what that feels like. But at some point, this crisis is our awakening process, because are you going to be authentic, or are you going to value harmony, or your comfort zone? Am I going to value harmony? Am I going to stay in my comfort zone? It's always a question for ourselves. And so, excuse me. Yeah. Now, so yeah, awakening is a crisis. Being ourselves can feel like we hit a crisis point where we have to really decide, who are we going to disappoint? Who are we going to shock? Who is not going to like what we have to say and how we have to say it? But, you know, if people really want to wake up as themselves, you know, I know for myself, as in my own path as a student, yeah, I would much rather someone was firm with me and pointed out what is not working, point out what behaviors or patterns are not working, So a lot of us are just afraid of being rejected or dis- disappointing others, or all the things. Um, and so just sharing that experience, because ultimately it comes down, I'm sharing this through my experience as a 3-5 profile incarnation cross. This is my incarnation trajectory and path. And yet, this really ultimately applies for everyone, because at some point we all, push the limits of our authentic life. You can, I like this book I read many years ago, The Big Leap. And the guy talks about living in your zone of excellence. You can do all these amazing things. You can do what you're good at, but once you jump into your zone of genius, where you're, just being the best you can be and living up to your full potential, whatever you want to call it. It's just some terms, but you know, your incarnation cross, that's the cross you bear, and your role, that, the costume you wear, you have to embody. And if we don't embody it, then we suffer. So, whatever your profile is, whatever your cross is, whatever your type is, we're all going to eventually push the boundaries of recognizing where we're living our authenticity, or where we're running from it or hiding from it. And so that's just kind of what I wanted to share today, what I feel inspired by, because um, it is a scary leap sometimes, because I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. So I end up being very diplomatic, and you know not wanting to offend anyone, or I've definitely had a history of shocking people when I don't hold back. And so figuring out the way to be authentic, be real, be ourselves, live out our purpose, not give a shit, and give a shit at the same time. Because I do care. Um, and yet there's so much crap to not care about that we get caught up in. Reasons and concepts are like the henchmen of the mind. And so letting go of the reasons, getting back in our bodies, just being real. So thank you for your encouragement to get it out, and reflecting back to you that it's okay to say no, it's okay to say yes, it's okay to be real, and follow what feels real and grounding to you. So leave it at that for today, and thanks for listening, and cheers.